may not be a 6, but at least it's not going to get clean bowled, and that's for Dow Jones. It's a very interesting chart because the last 2 3 months of correction, which has come across for many of the global markets, has actually started to happen when the Dow started to get into a top out zone. It's corrected more than 10% from its recent swing highs. So the chart patterns are quite intriguing. This is the RSI which I mapped for Dow Jones on the monthly time frame, and this is the price charts for Dow Jones. Now, interestingly, whenever the RSI hits back into an extremely oversold zone, so this is the straight line which I've marked, which is closer to a 25 line for the RSI. The Dow actually forms a major bottom. This was in 2018 end when the Dow hit that major selling point. The RSI came back to that sub 25 mark. We saw a major bottom happening, and then the Dow started to get into not just a bounce but even a strong rally from here on. This was in 2019 second half where the Dow formed a very similar kind of a bottom over here, and we saw a very sharp rally coming across in the RSI as well as in the prices. 2020, again a sharp drop, so closer to that sub 25 mark. This was the very recent one, 2022, where the RSI had come back into that zone of sub 25, and Dow formed a major bottom over here. And the reason for flagging of this today is because day before yesterday, Dow Jones formed a very similar kind of a drop in the RSI below the 25 mark, and this indicates that possibly this 33,000 odd mark could actually be a strong support zone for Dow Jones. So possibly from here on, we are not just looking at a bounce, but we are looking at a start of a very strong rally, which could start from the US markets.
That's amazing. Nooresh, tell us, what is it that you're identifying on the charts?
So that's a chart for Bandhan Bank, which has been a major underperformer over the last 2.5 years. Earlier, going into 2022, 250 was a support, 250, 55, that broke down. And then it went all the way to 190, 200 levels. Made a recovery to 270, came back again to 210, and now we are back at that 250, 55 levels. What is interesting is over the last 2 weeks when the Nifty and the Bank Nifty has corrected, the stock has been very resilient. Although generally been a high beta stock, but the stock has been very resilient, showing a lot of relative strength. Once it sustains about 255, 260 levels, that would be a confirmation of a long triangle breakout, which would give a target price of 300, 350. A buy at current levels with a stop loss at 245 and a target price of 300, 350 in the short to medium.
Right, and let's talk individual stocks too. Kunal, what is it that you've identified?
So I'll pick a mid cap and a large cap name. Anantraj Industries is a stock which is looking attractive at 229 odd levels. Look out for targets of 242, stop loss at 222. And ICICI Bank is showing signs of a classical triple divergence, which means that the stock may have hit a major bottom for itself. So contra buy on ICICI Bank, 966 as a target, stop loss 930.
Right. Nooresh, what about your strategies?
So first would be a buy on Axis Bank at risk reward trade here, stop loss at 980, target price of 1100. Second is a buy on KL India, which is reversing from that 120, 118 area. Stop loss at 119, target price of 135.